Welcome back, everybody. Now today I'm taking a look at 5 different popcorn makers to see how they compare. That's today's video. All right, this is one that's been requested of me over the last couple years. I'm finally getting around to popcorn makers. I've got kind of a nice variety of different shapes and sizes, so let's get right to it and head into the unboxing. Let's get started with the cheapest of the bunch. This was about 21 bucks. This is the Presto Poplite. A little bit dented. What's up with that, Amazon? Come on now. It's nicely packaged, I'll give them that. Nicely packaged. Very thorough in the packaging. All right, it's very simple. It only has 3 pieces to it. It has the base unit, this top, and then you have a scoop. This is highly rated with a lot of ratings, and actually it's the cheapest of the bunch. So we'll see how this one compares to some of the more expensive models. But I will read the instructions over, even though it's very basic, and just make sure I do it properly. But let's move on to another one before I get started. All right, next up is the $30 Orville Redenbacher fountain type popcorn maker. This is an interesting design. Let's check it out. Looks like a TIE fighter coming out of here. Wow, and more very impressive packaging. Now on this one, the lid actually doubles as the bowl, so that should be kind of interesting. You know, wow, that actually flew across the room. A lot of times when you take out these packaging like this, you'll never get it back in the box because the packaging is so tight. I don't even try. It's kind of interesting, huh? That's it. It's very nice looking though. More instructions to read, but I'll keep opening before I get to those. All right, it's time for something old school. This is the Whirley Pop. This is a classic right here. Let's check this one out. There were some Whirley Pop knockoffs on Amazon. People didn't seem to like those as much. So I went with the OG right here. Let's see what we got here. Oh, wow. Well, they even include some popcorn. Props for them for that. This is going to be a stovetop popcorn maker. I don't even know how to open this up. I got to be careful with this. I'm not going to take this packaging off until I know how to open this without breaking it. So more instructions to read. And some popcorn. Time for the West Bend Stir Crazy. This is a little bit similar to the Redenbacher, but not quite. Although this one does have a lid that doubles as a serving bowl too. Well, here we go. The difference between this and the Orville Redenbacher is Orville seems to have the fountain style. This is just the kernels go on the bottom. We'll go over these in more detail after I read the instructions and clean them out. And finally, the behemoth of the group. Wow, this thing's huge. It's gonna be like a library reading all these tonight. Oh man. Wow. I think in every single one of these, I end up opening them upside down. I don't know if that's just luck or just me, but. Oh, there's even stuff inside here too. And it seems kind of wedged in there. What is this? I'm guessing it's important. I think I need instructions how to pull this out of here. There we go. Smooth as silk taking this out of there. Oh my goodness, look at all that packaging on the floor down there. 3 scoops. All right, we got this kind of loosely floating around in there. I got this metal plate. I'm not sure what to do with. This seems like it might be important. I don't know. This is just packing material, I think. All right, I think I'm to the end now. All right, I think that's, wow, that's it. I don't even know what's important and what's not. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is assemble all these, read all the instructions, wash them off. So I'll probably start my popping tomorrow and see how they go. All right, well, last night I cleaned all these out and I went through the instructions, and actually I kind of made some cheat sheets, writing down all the relevant information from the instructions for all of them. So I'm gonna start with the cheapest of the bunch, and that's the Poplite right here. There's not much to it. All I had to clean out on these were these 2 in soapy water, and I ran a sponge over the top part. I think most of these actually call for a half a cup of popcorn. I've got a bunch of this Orville Redenbacher that I'm going to be using for all these, so it should be good. This one does not use oil. 2 of the 5 do not use oil. 3 of the 5 do use oil. This can double as a butter melter. You can put butter in there and it gets hot during the popping process. I'm probably not going to be doing butter because that's kind of a variable that doesn't really affect the popping aspect of it. But you can put butter in here. It's also used as a scoop, so let's try it out. One thing I noticed in the instructions that all of them were very clear to not overfill it. That maybe that's something that's led to some people having problems with them, but don't overfill them, I guess. So step 1 is a ½ cup of popcorn kernels. Replace the cover. Very important to replace that as well, because otherwise popcorn will be flying out of here. Next up, place a bowl to catch the popcorn. I think we're ready to go with the first popper. Again, no oil for this one, so it might be a little bit dry. Let's find out. And there's no on-off switch. You just plug it in and it goes. So I'm plugging it in. That's what I'm seeing so far. There's kind of a warm hairdryer smell coming out of there. I just had 1/2 pop kernel come out. The instructions also say to stay away from the popper in case hot kernels are ejected. So far it's a bit underwhelming, but the anticipation does mount. Oh, I'm seeing popping. We're getting our first pops. Oh, we're getting some pops now. We're getting pops. Here it comes. Oh, we're getting good stuff now. Right now I've got 1 piece of popcorn in the bowl so far. Here it comes. It's coming. Oh yeah. That's what I want to see. So far, no spillage, nothing's getting ejected too far out. That's good. Oh, it's getting kind of aggressive at the end here. Whoa, it just ejected one across the room. Wow, and it's still going. I guess that's it. Well, I think that worked pretty well. There's only a few kernels in the bottom. Let me see. There's like 5 kernels in the bottom. That's it. This is actually quite warm. They do say use oven mitts for this. Now I understand why. Take that off there. All right, well, I think I got a nice big bowl of popcorn out of that. Let me see. Now this is just air pop. It hasn't been even salted yet. Pretty plain. Put some salt in there, some butter, and it'll be good. All right, the $21 Presto Poplite. I think we're off to a good start. Let's see what's next. All right, next up is another Presto, and this is actually an Orville Redenbacher branded Presto machine. Again, I wasn't really trying to do multiple popcorn poppers by the same company, but I've just picked the most popular ones, so that's what we ended up with. But anyways, this one is a little bit different design. It's kind of unusual. So in this one, they have 3 what they call restrictors. This one has a tab, and the other 2 don't. You're supposed to open the other 2. Dump in your ½ cup of kernels. Close the restrictors. Next, you're supposed to put the lid on it. You have to make sure you keep the lid's lid. I guess it's a lid's lid. I guess you take the lid's lid off because otherwise you'll have no ventilation and that'll mess it up. So at that point, all you have to do is just plug it in. They say if popcorn builds up on one side, to gently shake it while it's popping. When it gets down to 1 or 2 seconds between pops, then you unplug it. At that point, when it's done, you're supposed to snap the lid on, flip the entire thing over, and then you got your bowl of popcorn. Let's try it out. Plugging in the popcorn maker. Here we go. I'm not seeing too much yet. I don't expect to, but I just started it. The nice thing about this one is you have your own bowl, so if you got to wash your dishes and you don't have a bowl, no worries. The popcorn maker supplies one for you. Kind of like with the other Presto, kind of smells like a hairdryer. It's like a hairdryer meets popcorn. Popcorn scented hairdryer. That air is pretty hot coming out of there. Oh, we're getting pops now. We're getting pops. It's getting aggressive. It's getting aggressive now. Oh, look at it bursting through there. Ugh, that's very cool. Oh yeah. It's bursting through. Wow, there's something very satisfying about the way it bursts out of there. It's like a popcorn superhero. Oh wow. Yeah, they're right. It is kind of piling up all on one side. I'm getting little bits flying around here, like popcorn bits floating around. They say to shake it if it starts getting on one side. Let me try it. That's not helping. I think it's about done. Or not. All right, I'd rather have it a little bit on the early side than a little bit on the late side. Nobody wants burnt popcorn. I don't. All right, supposed to snap the lid on. Turn the entire thing over. And then remove the base. Whoa. So now the reason they have this lid here is that any partial hulls or uncooked kernels will go file in the bottom and they won't fall on your lap. So that's kind of helpful. Oh, this is another batch of air popped popcorn. You know, salt and butter will be good. There was definitely something satisfying about the way it came out of there. Also, although I do have a little bit more of a mess in the surrounding area than the first one, there's a bunch of little white bits on the table. Not a big deal though. That was kind of fun. All right, it's time for the Whirley Pop now. Not much to this one. Basically, you just have this lid and this handle, which stirs the popcorn around. Kind of like the Stir Crazy. This is one of two that stirs like that. This one is manual, the Stir Crazy is not. It's very thin aluminum. They say you have to put oil in there or it'll get damaged, and don't preheat it. They say do not preheat this. So you're supposed to put a half cup of popcorn with 1 to 3 tablespoons of oil. Do not preheat, and then you just turn the crank until it slows down and then dump it out. Sounds easy enough. Let's give it a shot. Half a cup of kernels. I'm putting 2 tablespoons because the other ones have called for that, so kind of just to keep it on the same playing field. Close the lid. It says make sure the 3 clips are in place. The 3 clips are in place. So time to turn on the burner. Here we go. I'm just going to put it right around medium. And you start turning the handle. You kind of need a second hand, but otherwise it's going to kind of slide around, so you kind of need 2 hands for this. They also said do not shake the popper. I guess people are used to shaking it from the old school Jiffy Pops. Don't shake the popper. I'm hearing sizzling. Should be any minute now. I hope. Oh, I heard it. There it goes. Oh, now it's popping. That was the first big pop. Oh, there it goes. I wasn't sure how loud I was going to hear the popcorn over this turning sound, but I definitely hear it. It sounds like it's trying to get out. It's almost violently hitting the top of the lid there. Got a big rush of steam came out. It's like the play-by-play here. Oh yeah, now it's going. I think we're peaking right now. I think we're peaking. We've got steam, we've got noise. It's great. Very cool. All right, I think we're done. I think we're done. I think we're done. I think we're done. Now move it over to a bowl. Oh yeah. Look at that beautiful bowl of popcorn. I didn't see any unpopped kernels hardly at all. Does that look appetizing or is it just me? Let me try one. Oh yeah. The oil makes a big difference on these. I'll put some butter and salt in here and this will be perfect. All right, next up it's the Stir Crazy by West Bend. Let's take a closer look at this one. All right, this one also has a lid that comes off. So right here is where you put the butter, which I'm not going to do in this video, but you can put butter here. It melts, drips onto the popcorn. I cleaned this lid and this lid in soapy water and I wiped the rest down with a sponge. For a half a cup of popcorn, I have to add 2 tablespoons of oil, which I'm going to do right now. Half a cup of popcorn. They say to make it kind of even, so I'll do my best here. So next up, placing the cover on the base. If you wanted butter, you could put it up the top, but I'm going to skip that. Unlike the previous ones, this one has an on-off switch. We're plugged in. Let's turn it on. Oh, that is kind of interesting, isn't it? I wonder why I had to put it on there evenly when it's just going to push it around like that anyways. The instructions say this will take about 4 to 5 minutes. And like the fountain popcorn maker, I have to put the lid on and turn it upside down. So they're very similar in that respect, although the popping method seems quite different. It's kind of making this evil growling sound right now. And a hiss too, interesting. I'm hearing a sizzling. Oh, we got our first pop. We got our first pop. The bowl is very steamy now. And now we're going here, huh? There's steam coming out of the top here. Wow, that was kind of quick. I don't think that was 5 minutes. All right. Now, got to shove the lid on quickly. They say I do this as fast as possible. Put the lid on. Make sure the handles are aligned. They are. It's not too hot. It's not. Turn away from yourself. Lift off. And here we go. Nice big old bowl of popcorn. Still need salt, but the oil adds some already. I think so far we're progressively getting better each time, so that sets the bar pretty high. I actually quite like this one. I think the use of oil really makes a difference though. You can use a lot of different types of oils too. I used extra virgin olive oil, which they say in the instructions works fine, and it did work fine for me. All right, let's see what's next. Now for the big boy here. So I went with this one even though I'm already doing another West Bin brand, but I figured this one's popular, it meets the criteria, so why not, right? This one took a little bit of assembly. In fact, I'll cut away to the assembly right now. Let me just show you real quick how this is set up. First of all, you have this plate that goes up here. This is magnetic, so it just kind of sticks to the top. Up here, you have the stir rod that just screws into that. The popping kettle is a little bit difficult. You have these hooks that are supposed to go on here. I've done it a couple times, and it takes a minute to get used to it. Pull it up, and then finally you're supposed to plug this into the top. Normally you'd be in front of the popcorn maker when you're doing it. I'm trying to, for this video, I'm gonna kind of behind it, so it's a little bit awkward. Half a cup of popcorn. 1 tablespoon of oil. 2 tablespoons of oil. Now to pull down this kettle cover, which that seems to work well. Close the cabinet door. It's plugged in. I think I'm ready to turn it on. I'm almost nervous for some reason. I don't know why. I shouldn't be, but I am. I hear a humming. I think it's turning in there. I guess I can't really do much until it starts coming out. So we shall wait. Still waiting. It is working. No popcorn's coming out yet, but it is working. Just patiently waiting. Oh, I think I heard the first pop. I think I just heard the second pop. I think we're on a roll here. Here we go. Oh, we're definitely popping now. We're definitely popping. I can't wait to see it come out of there. That's going to be great. Oh, a blast of steam just came out of both sides. Oh, it's lifting. It's lifting up. It's lifting up. I feel like a little kid by the window. I can't see it. I want to see it. Oh, yeah. Most of it's still in the kettle, it looks like. That is so cool. Look at that. Whoa. All right, it's slowing down. It's slowing down now. Maybe not. I thought it was slowing down. Oh, it's slowing down. All right. Now, these instructions here. Push this lever. Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that. So the rest of the popcorn drops out, except there's a little bit in the kettle still. It says use the scoop to remove any additional popcorn. You're supposed to move this out of here. There's kind of a couple of like burnt ones down there. It's not really easy to get those out either. I'm not sure what to really do about that. You didn't want to touch the kettle because the kettle's kind of hot, so you can't really take the kettle out. Huh, I guess I'll just kind of try to keep scooping. The magnet on this door is kind of weak. It's kind of weak. Oh, I can get here better actually from this angle. All right, now we're supposed to lift that back up there and then lift the kettle back up. It's pretty good. I got a taste enough to demonstrate here. I got a couple of burnt pieces in there. I'm not as happy. It worked well, but I think some of the others worked better. What's a little bit disappointing about this one also, they say if you want to make more popcorn, you got to take all this popcorn out of there. So, I don't know, it worked well. I got some reservations about this one because it's also the most expensive of the bunch. Let me ponder this over before I give you my final thoughts. All right, so me and Bailey have kind of an important decision to make, which one we like the best. Let me go through these here. I would say if you're looking for a good air popper, the Pop Light's probably the one to choose. Only 20 bucks, very compact. The fountain popper I liked, it's just kind of large, but it's kind of the geek factor's there for that one. It's kind of fun. But that one you can't add oil to it. Now, if you're looking at the Whirley Pop and the Stir Crazy, those two you can add oil to. And the Stir Crazy you could add butter to as well. The theater cabinet, I'm not as fond of that one because I had a few burnt pieces. You have to scoop all of it out of there. It's the most expensive, it's the largest. I just wasn't as much of a fan of that one, although it did work. So to me, the Whirley Pop and the Stir Crazy, I think they're my favorite. I would give a slight advantage to the Stir Crazy just because of the butter feature and it's not as hands-on, but really they all work pretty well. But if you've tried any of these popcorn makers, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching and I'll see you next time.